G'day there guys, it's Michael here, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use one scale shape to play two different scales. Let's get into it. So most of us know the good old humble minor pentatonic scale. Here it is in the key of A. So basically I'm playing 5 and 8 on string 6, and then I'm going to play 5, 7 on the next 3 strings. Then I'm going to play 5, 8 on string 2 and string number 1. All together. So most of you already know that scale, and if you don't, just pause the video and go back and learn it. Now some of you have heard of another scale called the major pentatonic scale. It's closely related and can even be the same scale if we're thinking of shapes and using certain reference points. For example, if I play the A major pentatonic scale, I use a completely different shape and I get completely different notes. However, if I play the major pentatonic scale shape from fret number 8, that becomes the C major pentatonic scale. And we may notice that A minor pentatonic and C major pentatonic have the exact same notes. There's an explanation behind that. Those scales are relative to each other. They're different scales from the same parent key. They're just starting at different points along the sequence. Now, we're not going to go right into a discussion about that straight away, but I'm going to show you how you can use the one scale shape to play both scales. So it's all about the root note and the reference point. If I'm playing A minor pentatonic, my index finger starts on fret 5 on string 6, which is an A note. And from that point, I go 5, 8 with my pinky finger, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. If I move that same scale up to fret number 8, where the C note is, that becomes C minor pentatonic. You can move that one scale pattern anywhere on the fretboard and it will become the minor pentatonic of that scale. Now here's where it gets really confusing for half of you and really exciting for the other half of you. If we use that same shape but we move it back by 3 frets so that my index finger is at fret 2, we would call that the F sharp minor pentatonic scale. However, just like A was paired with C, F sharp is paired with A. So if we reference this shape but use our pinky finger as a starting point, which is an A note, it gives us the notes of A major pentatonic. This means we can play A minor pentatonic using the pentatonic shape but referencing our first finger and moving forwards, or we can play A major pentatonic using the same shape, moving it back 3 frets and using our pinky as the reference point. We're going to be going back to fret 2 and fret 4 from this starting point. What happens is we get all the same notes as if we were at fret number 5 using the major pentatonic shape. It's all the same notes, they're just appearing somewhere else on the fretboard. This is an amazing guitar hack because you can now play all 12 major pentatonic scales simply by moving your pinky finger to the desired root note and then building the shape on top of it. If I want to play D major pentatonic, I find the D note and I build my major pentatonic shape on top of it like that. If I want to play E major pentatonic, then I just put my pinky on E, and then I can go and play the E major pentatonic using the shape that I already know. Little bonus hint, if you're trying to figure out the relative major to minor relationship, both with the major scale to minor scale, or major pentatonic to minor pentatonic, you basically play the pentatonic shape. If I put my index finger, that will be the minor, and my pinky finger will be the major. So, A minor is the same as C major. D minor is the same as F major. So you just build on top of the notes that you have as they fall under your finger. Now some of you are going to need to pause this video and wrap your head around what I just talked about. So I highly recommend you pause it and you take the time to try and play the A major pentatonic both with the minor shape and using your pinky finger here. Once you get the hang of that, press play again, and you can learn the next part of the lesson. So whenever we learn something new, one of the best things we can do is actually put it into practice. So once you get the shape memorized, we want to make a little bit of a self-jam exercise. You're going to play the minor chord for one bar. A minor, whether it's one of these A minors, one of these A minors, we're going to go like this. And you just get used to changing from the chord to the scale. You can do that for a couple of minutes with the minor chord to the minor pentatonic, and then the major chord. You can even use that A chord. But the whole point of the exercise is to get you familiar with where the notes are and be able to transition from the chord to the scale. Once you get the hang of that, the third part of the exercise is to start getting creative and make licks and melodies using the given scale. Here's a couple of rounds on the minor and a couple of rounds on the major. And of course the major. So there you go. And you don't always have to go straight to fancy, you can do some simple melodies and build it up from there. Now to take this even further, what we can do is a 2-chord vamp where, say, I go from A major to D major and play a lick from each scale at the same time, or even extend it to a progression like the blues progression. Here we go in A. So once you get the hang of this, you can take it a step further by doing a 2-chord vamp, such as the chords A and D, or even applying it to an entire progression or even a 12-bar blues. You just simply want to play the chord and then play a lick using the scale that matches the chord, and then just move it around following the chord changes. Here's an example using A, D, and E. So there you go. Nothing overly magical about my solo there, but hopefully it gave you a step in the right direction of how you can use one scale shape to play both the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic. You can see how those scales are laid out on the fretboard. You can overlap them with chord shapes you already know, and then you can play the changes or sound a lot more authentic in your soloing by matching the scale that you're playing and the melody, lick notes, target notes you're playing to the chord being played. Go through those steps, learn the scale, combine the scale with the chord, get creative with the scale, and then follow the chord progression, and your guitar soloing is going to sound fantastic. So that is it from me today. If you found it helpful, I would love for you to like and subscribe so you keep up to date with future videos. And if you've got any suggestions for content you'd like to see or things you're struggling with, let me know in the comments below and I can make a video addressing that in future. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next lesson.